because the first thing a lender's going to do is want to pull those credit reports. Then also, it can open up the door to a multi-million-dollar business. I have an example that I'm going to share with you, the importance of maintaining your credit and how this can happen. And then also, it can get you a boat. Maybe you want a yacht one day. Well, if you have good credit, it can open up the door to that as well. Airline tickets, rental cars, airplanes. Maybe that's an option for you one day. I know that I'm hoping one day, not just hoping, but really looking forward to having my own airplane one day. That's really happening. I can see it. Okay. And then also, a new car. A new car might be an option for you. And so when we talk about credit, it opens up all kinds of doors and all kinds of opportunities for us. Let's talk for a minute about going from debt to millionaire status. This is one of my favorite topics. And so, for example, when we talk about someone who had bad credit, how many of you love Disneyland? I think we all are familiar with it. Walt Disney was a person at one time who had incredible debt. He also filed bankruptcy. He was in such bad debt. He not only filed once, but more than once. And so when we're talking about going from debt to millionaire status, you have to be highly motivated to get out of debt, to get to the next place. And oftentimes it starts just with a step. Sonny Colby Cook is another example. So I say, when you have a dream or when you have a vision to do something, hold on to it, no matter what your credit situation looks like right now. If it means having to go out and get a picture of a house, if you want home ownership as a reality in your life, begin to focus in on that and begin to see that as a reality in your life. I believe that all things are possible. Okay? And so if you have a goal, begin to set your focus on that goal and remember that it can be accomplished. Also, let me talk for a moment about another person who went from debt to millionaire status. Her name is Sonny Colby Cook. Is anybody here familiar with Sonny Colby Cook? Okay, she is very well known in this area, but let me tell you a little bit about her story in terms of debt so that you can begin to see the light at the end of the tunnel, maybe in a situation that you know of. In Sonny Colby Cook's life, the thing that propelled her to millionaire status is that she was in debt. She was badly in debt, grossly in debt. In fact, she was in so much debt she had considered bankruptcy. She was in debt so much that she took on an extra job. She was working as a secretary. She took on another job so she could have extra money. She worked on the weekends. She worked after work so she could pay off her debts. If you've ever been in debt and ever tried to shovel your way out of debt, you understand the process that she was going through. And so she worked those extra hours to get herself out of debt. And what she did was get familiar with the mattress industry. She wanted to work in the furniture business because she didn't want to be tempted to buy things if she worked at a retail store. And so she learned the business very well and got to know the guys that were supplying the mattress and said to them one day, if I decided to start a business, would you help me start it? And they said, oh yeah, sure, we'll help you, Sonny. We'll even provide mattresses for you on consignment. That's like giving you a business. And so she was challenged with one thing, and they said, if you will only go to our dry markets, we will give you mattresses on consignment. Seattle was one of the dry markets. She came to Seattle, and she started that business, and the rest is pretty much history in this way. That she kept the business for 10 years. She built the business from the ground up. After 10 years, she decided to sell it. I was at an event speaking with her and got to hear the story firsthand and talk to her a little bit. And this is what she said. She said there's a magazine called Inc. Magazine, for those of you that are into business and entrepreneurship. She said that, the article said that she actually made $40 million on the sale of Sleep Country. You're familiar with Sleep Country. You hear those commercials all the time. Sleep Country, USA. Why buy a mattress anywhere else? Okay, and so that's what she did. And $40 million later, she's retired now. She does what she wants to do, but she's still got some really great tips in terms of maintaining the status that she has. That's maybe for another workshop. So